The college baseball experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up today with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And it is showtime. What's going on, everybody? Back here on the College Baseball Experience. I'm your host today, Noah Bieniek, and we had some big-time news in the college baseball landscape today as a former coaching icon is putting his hat back into the ring, back into the Southeastern Conference. Paul Mainieri. So earlier on, around like 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, Teddy Cahill of Baseball America had kind of been the first to float this out. Everybody's kind of claiming that they had previous knowledge of this being a possibility, as my Wi-Fi is just taking an absolute nosedive since we've gone live on this show. But very, very, it's frustrating. On one of our Wi-Fi the entire time. Why? Anyways, we're going to power through. I apologize for those watching on YouTube. Tune in on the podcast platform too. The College Baseball Experience available on all podcast platforms. But Teddy Cahill had floated the idea out there first. He was the first one to kind of mention that Paul Mainieri to South Carolina was a real possibility. And about 3 hours later, Kendall Rogers broke the news that Paul Mainieri is set to make his return into coaching ranks after 3 years of being retired as LSU's head coach due to medical reasons. It's not official yet. The Board of Trustees for South Carolina are scheduled to meet on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and they'll still have to approve, and air quotes there, the hire of Paul Mainieri. But it's expected that they are going to approve the acquisition here. Mainieri, who is 66, would be taking over for head coach Mark Kingston, who was fired after South Carolina's season ended in the NCAA tournament regionals, going 13-17 in SEC play this season. It had been rumored that Mainieri has kind of been in head coaching discussions with both Notre Dame and Miami, Florida, with their jobs recently opening, or as they were recently open in the last 2 seasons. South Carolina athletic director and former baseball coach Ray Tanner was gunning for a home run hire. It wasn't really a secret. He found it important to make sure that the Gamecocks baseball program had an excellent and experienced head man as the landscape of college sports continues to shift. South Carolina is a baseball school. Tanner personally led the Gamecocks to back-to-back national championships in 2010 and 2011. The Gamecocks are average in football currently, and with respect to Moneyline Mac of the college basketball experience and his Final Four run with the Cox in 2017. But right now, if you were to Google South Carolina basketball, the women's team page pops up. So it was important to Tanner to make sure that he hired a guy that could keep this program in the top tier of the SEC for the next half decade at least. Mainieri began his head coaching career with St. Thomas, Florida, for 6 seasons, where he was the Bobcats' winningest coach in history. His number is currently retired with the program, and the field is named after him. Mainieri then became the next head coach of Air Force for 6 years, and then spent his next 12 years with Notre Dame, turned the Fighting Irish program around into a series contender year in and year out. He finished his tenure there with an overall record of 533 wins, 213 losses, and 3 ties. His most recent stop was with LSU. Mainieri is credited with bringing the team tremendous success, including the 2009 College World Series National Championship, 5 College World Series appearances, 4 regular season titles in the SEC, 6 SEC tournament championships, and 6 SEC West Division titles. Mainieri has an overall record as a head coach of 1,505 wins, 775 losses, and 8 ties in 39 seasons of collegiate coaching. Before I get into what the future of college, before I get into what I think the future of South Carolina baseball is going to be, the college baseball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up today with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. You can also take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. If you're heading out to Omaha this season for the College World Series, I highly recommend you using the code CFBX over there on Game Time. We're going to keep churning along here on YouTube. As I mentioned earlier, Paul Mainieri is interesting at South Carolina here. He's 66, but he's an established winner in the SEC, and that means a lot to Ray Tanner right now, as Texas and Oklahoma are set to join the conference in less than a month. Texas is the bluest of blue bloods in college baseball, and Oklahoma was seeded 9th in this year's NCAA tournament and just played in the national championship in 2022. South Carolina would have been pushed into if South Carolina would have been pushed into the bottom tier of the SEC over the next few years, the shine of what Tanner perfected would begin to wear off. Now, I know Chad Holbrook and Mark Kingston had some successes, but there were also some bumps along the way, with both kind of having public perceptions that weren't too great when the hires happened. That's where the South Carolina hiring Paul Mainieri is different. I mean, Mainieri is going to be an absolute darling for media and the fans. The main question surrounding him at South Carolina is going to be, can he recruit in this year or this day and age with NIL and the transfer portal? I tweeted this out earlier, immediately after Kendall Rogers had kind of tweeted out that the hire was bound to happen, and he had kind of sent it to tweet and then deleted the tweet, but I screenshotted it. And he basically said that the landscape of college baseball is basically shook by the hiring of Mainieri, and it'll be shaken to its core. There's going to be a lot of dominoes here that are going to begin to fall, in my opinion. And that's when I said, like, we've kind of seen this in college football and college basketball in the last couple of years. Mainieri's going to be able to hire some of the best mid-major head coaches available to him. Also, some SEC assistants. They'll all want to come be by his side. Once, one reason for that would be the opportunity to coach alongside a man with the amount of success that Mainieri's had in his career. That would be an amazing experience to a mid-major head coach, and also an SEC assistant that is looking for a little bit of an upgrade up the ladder. But also, anyone with a brain kind of knows that Mainieri is just kind of a bridge hire here. Mainieri can say that he loves the game and that he still has the burn and the passion to be back in the dugout. But remember, he did leave due to medical reasons from LSU. I remember an SEC football coaching icon coming back in this same sort of fashion. Remember Urban Meyer's return to college football? He returned to the sidelines for about 7 seasons, and I think he was back for 7 seasons. I mean, as a Michigan fan, lived in my nightmares for 7 seasons. We didn't beat him once. But after those 7 seasons, that would put Mainieri at 73. How much longer do we think he's got? And remember that really, really good, talented, experienced assistant that Urban Meyer had over there at Ohio State, Ryan Day. He's now the head man at Ohio State, and he's doing pretty well. He's only had like 3 or 4 losses, I think. 3 of them to Michigan, or 3 of them to Michigan. I have to say it after talking about praising Urban Meyer, and of course he did coach at Florida for quite a bit, making his name in the SEC. But imagine the coaches, the studs in our game right now, just dreaming of putting themselves into that position to either gain SEC coaching experience or to jump off from this opportunity to another great opportunity, or the chance to be the heir of Mainieri and Ray Tanner to be the next head coach of South Carolina baseball. I think it's a win-win for everybody. I think this is a great situation. A lot of people are questioning whether Mainieri is going to be able to recruit. I think a lot of other guys are willing to come in for Mainieri and get into the mud, and kind of do that hard work for him and prove that they are rightful of just receiving a little bit more tug on the rope, whether it be with South Carolina or another power program in college baseball right now. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter/X at NoahB77_. I'll be here daily throughout the month, providing transfer portal, coaching carousel updates, as well as daily college baseball picks throughout the College World Series. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button. You've been experiencing the better side of college baseball with the College Baseball Experience. Adios, amigos.